Joe, how nice is it to be back, to be healthy, wearing that powder blue again?
Yeah, no, it feels great. Being able to step back on that field for these OTAs and being able to just be with your teammates and do what you love to do has just been so great, both, you know, for me and I think for a lot of people, so it's been a lot of fun.
Was it frustrating last year? I felt like you were playing some of your best football of all time in those 6 games that you got to play a season ago, and then the ankle injury. How frustrating was it to work through that?
Yeah, it definitely was tough. You know, I felt like I was doing well out there, and it's obviously hard to, you know, have to get hurt and then have to go and, you know, watch from the sideline. But I feel like I grew a lot. I feel like I learned as a person and as a player as I kind of had to step back from it, and I feel like I grew. And now going into this season, you know, I'm recharged and more excited.
So a lot of new pieces this season when you talk about an offense coordinator, new offensive line coach. Let's start with the coordinator, Mike McDaniel. And the little bit of time you guys have been able to spend together, what is it like working with Mike?
Yeah, I think I've never been with a coach who has such a high standard for his offense and a, you know, a specificity for what he wants. You know, it's been a lot of fun to learn his concepts and learn how exactly he wants to do it, you know, seeing it from how we've done it to watching film of it, and then, you know, hey, this isn't good enough, and being able to improve that. So I think we're all excited to take that and move it into training camp and improve on it.
What's it like having Jim and Mike in the same room together? Because I feel like everyone on the outside is dying to know what that's like.
No, it's been awesome. I think they both work really well together, and I think Coach McDaniel and Coach Harbaugh have kind of been, you know, helping coach each other and, you know, teach each other their ways and what they've learned. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of have both their minds working for us on the offensive side of the ball to, you know, improve and go into this year with, you know, the best foot in front of ourselves.
Give us some insight to what Butch is like, because I've heard a lot of interesting things, maybe an old school coach. What is Butch like?
Yeah, no, I love Coach Barry. I think the thing for me is he is going to hold you to a standard, and that's a high standard, and I think we all want that. We all need that in that offensive line room, and I think that was the first thing he told me, and I think he's, you know, really stayed true to it. So for us, it's just learning the way he wants things done, learning the way this offense operates, and, you know, getting to know him through these OTAs and into training camp. I think we're all building confidence together. We're building that, you know, that really offensive line room, and I think it's going to be exciting come around training camp.
For multiple reasons, injuries to you and Rashawn, other reasons, this offensive line was ranked one of the worst in all of the NFL season ago. It feels like it's been addressed for multiple reasons as well. You and Rashawn being back, being a big part of it. Where do you think this line will be going into the 2026 season?
Yeah, I think, you know, just based off OTAs, the ability for us to, you know, build our camaraderie as a group. I think we've been able to, you know, talk, and I think we're all kind of competing amongst each other just because it is a new offense and it's a new offensive scheme, so we're all kind of learning it together, and it's kind of like, oh, he did something well, let's watch that, I want to do that. So I think we're all just kind of competing a little bit. You know, it's not really a competition, but we all are just trying to get better at this scheme and this fundamentals. So I think that's just going to allow us to grow and grow into training camp to kind of be able to, you know, put our best 5 out there when it comes time to play, you know, game 1. I think we're all excited for that, and we all just kind of want to continue to get better in this scheme as we go forward.
We all know Justin Herbert is an absolute warrior. He fights through injuries all the time. But how do you guys keep him upright more often going into this year?
Yeah, I think it starts with that camaraderie, because I just said we got to be on the same page as a group, and you know, going into this next season, being able to know what we need to do, know the standard we want to hold ourselves at as an offensive line room, and, you know, keep that and do whatever it takes to do that. And I think, you know, just putting that work in training camp right now, and, you know, continue to build that up, and then just, you know, having the trust of Justin too, that we're going to be there for him and we're going to protect for him is, you know, a big thing for us.
What are your expectations for this 2026 season?
Yeah, I think it's just to go out there and be grateful and be happy. I think being able to be back on that field, you know, it's something I missed for a lot of last year, and it was hard to miss. So just being able to step back on that field and compete is what I'm most looking forward to.
I think folks are really excited to see you back out there, Joe. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah.